What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Alright, so I see this story on TMZ, and that is that Tupac's murder suspect, Keefe D, is showing his face in court for the first time in the Tupac case, where he'll soon have a chance to respond to the charge against him. Dwayne Davis, who's been charged with one count of murder with use of a deadly weapon, plus a gang enhancement, is due to appear in court in front of a judge today, marking his initial public appearance since he was indicted and taken into custody last week. He's being arraigned today, so he'll have the charge against him read out loud in open court, and usually a defendant pleads guilty or not guilty at this time. As was earlier reported, Keefe's arrest came after a raid at his wife's home earlier this summer when law enforcement busted into their Henderson, Nevada address and collected evidence. Now the authorities clearly feel they have enough to officially tie him to the crime. Of course, as far as the public is concerned, much of the mystery over who shot Tupac has long been resolved, and a big part of that narrative has come from Keefe's own mouth. The guy's been doing interviews for years now, admitting to his involvement in the shooting. According to Keefe, his younger nephew Orlando Anderson was the actual trigger man that night in '96, with Keefe riding passenger and supplying the weapon used. Orlando is long since dead. He lost his life in a gangland style shootout back in 1998. And so are the other two men who were said to have been in the car that night. Keefe is apparently the only living person from that car that night. While prosecutors seem to acknowledge Keefe was likely not the one who pulled the trigger, they will argue that Nevada law still applies to charge him with the crime. Keefe D had previously been implicated in Tupac's death, which, interestingly enough, got pieced together during the Notorious B.I.G. murder investigation. LAPD officials involved in that matter have said Keefe was given a proffer agreement to spill the beans and potentially avoid prosecution. But it sounds like his many public statements eventually landed him on Las Vegas Metro Police Department's radar. The only other living person who has direct knowledge of the crime is Suge Knight, and he's made it abundantly clear to us that he won't cooperate with prosecutors. Members of Tupac's family have expressed both surprise, grief, and relief in the wake of the news, as have others who knew Tupac back in the day, including Jada Pinkett Smith. Tupac was only 25 years old when he lost his life, and even after all these years, the case draws interest. And there's an update on this situation just as I speak, and that is that Keefe D showed up. Alright, Keefe D showed up in his first court appearance, but the lawyer he hired couldn't make it to the hearing. For some reason, the matter has been continued for, it looks like, 2 more weeks. So, approximately October 20th, 21st, 22nd, we'll do it all over again. And then maybe that's when Keefe D will give his plea. I'm not sure why the lawyer didn't show up. This isn't particularly a type of case, you know what I'm saying, you would think a lawyer would just forget, let slip his mind. You know, it is what it is. I mean, I can't see Keefe D pleading guilty. You know, I don't see that. So, you know what I'm saying, I don't see him pleading guilty. I think he's going to fight this, obviously. He's 60 years old. A sentence of 20 or more years would be a life sentence pretty much essentially for him, or at least what's left of his good part of his life. So, I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see, man, how this thing develops. I don't want to speculate too much right here because I don't know why the lawyer was late. It could have been a legitimate reason, or maybe something behind that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, tell me what you guys think.